Hello everyone, and welcome back to Scrap Mechanic. So I got a little bit of a different episode for you today. Kind of just talking off the cuff a little bit, and if I sound like I'm complaining, I'm not. I would say I'm more just disappointed in Scrap Mechanic itself, not in you guys or anything like that. We're actually going to go hop into a test world of challenge mode, and we're going to check out a build I made, and this is what I'm sad about or disappointed about. If you guys haven't noticed, like past couple weeks I kind of did a couple streams of me trying to make a pirate ship. A couple of those streams aren't available at the moment because they got copyright claimed, even though I was using copyright free music. I don't know. I could have fixed it, but it was just like it was more trouble than worth. Since I'm a small YouTube channel, I'm not trying to make a living off this. All right. Anyway, off of that, we are here to talk about my pirate ship, and I think it personally, I think it turned out pretty well. My only complaint probably is the actual sails. I could have spent probably more time on the sails, but I'm tired of making curves. I don't think they're too bad, but definitely I feel like I can make them a little more realistic. And if you guys haven't noticed, like the frame rate, it ain't the greatest, okay? Mainly right now because we actually are in challenge mode, and this boat is so heavy that it's sinking through this like one block gap. And the only reason we are in challenge mode right now is because you can fly without using mods. So I just wanted to show it off real quick, and then we'll get on to the meat of this episode. It's pretty simple. Like, overall, I am very proud of it, and I don't regret trying to make this. In hindsight, I should have made this a lot smaller. The whole point of making this boat was to have a pirate ship battle, like with like Jen, Austin, and maybe a couple other people. I wanted at least one more person, so it would be a 2v2 team, because I wanted one, like a captain and then a crewmate. So one's driving the boat, one's firing the cannons or maintaining whatever. And I had a lot more grandiose ideas. I wanted like the crewmate or mates to be able to like bring down the sails and whatnot. And it was gonna be I had a great idea, but I quickly learned that Scrap Mechanic would not allow me to do this. And I really wish. I'm gonna show you some examples, and hopefully, if you guys are still here listening, hopefully you guys can actually give me some ideas or tricks that you know of to reduce lag, to hopefully make some more like fun videos in the future. So yeah, here's the ship. We'll actually do a test mode to show you how the ship flies, or actually, better yet, we'll go into a flat world and I'll show you how the ship moves and whatnot. But I'll just give you a quick tour. Like I said, I wanted to add actually a lot more stuff. I wanted some cannons like up here, like on the deck, and always some maybe even like some like spud gun turrets or something up here just to shoot as well. But I'm trying to not add any more, like even more detail work, just because of lag. The ship's already too big, and I'm still trying to do some battles, but we'll see. Anyway, yeah, let's go down here. Just got like total of 14 cannons. They actually load. I'll show you how they load. So what you do is you get any kind of, it doesn't matter what kind of block, then you get the explosive. It has to be the small explosive though. So what you would do is you would put that block right there, load that right there, delete this block, and since we are in challenge mode, and without actually starting the test, these will not explode. So you see, it fires off. It's all the way out in the distance. So it's not going to blow up, like I said. We're in challenge mode, and we'll test it out more in the actual world, because I do want your guys' opinions on anything I can do to improve these cannons. Overall, I'm pretty happy with them, but there definitely could be some improvements. I tell you what. Other than that, if we go back above to like where I'd say the captain's quarters would be, added a gyro here. It's a little off kilter, just because how I spawned it in, and it works pretty well. It's not perfect. It definitely is a source of lag, though. I tell you what. But overall, it's pretty it's pretty useful. I think what I might do is actually put like some pistons or something, and like have it manually reset the gyro, just because it does get off kilter and it doesn't fix itself. It keeps trying to like tilt to like mainly roll to like I think the right a little bit. For some reason it always goes that way. Other than that, I think that's the gist of the ship that I want to show you, at least in this mode. So let's go to an actual just flat world and fly this thing around. Actually, never mind, I lied. I just wanted to talk about this first before we actually hop into the flat world and fly it. Sorry, sorry about that. So this is just the ship. It's literally hollowed out. This is before I even added the thrusters and whatnot, and there's no gyro or anything. This is just the ship, at least what I consider complete. And my first actual crap. Sorry, words are escaping me. What I really wanted to do with this was actually have an actual like water battle, like what a ship does. And this is where I feel like I'm kind of complaining, but I'm more or less just disappointed. So if you guys can see, like I'm running the game just fine. Can't really see my frame rates or anything, but I should be at like 60 frame rates, like pretty standard, right? No problem. I can even throw in a second one of these boats. Are you gonna spawn in? You gonna do it? There we go. Another boat, no problem, right? Walking around. All right. So my grief with this is actually when, and mind you, and I'm just gonna remind you guys, there's nothing. These ships are hollow. There's nothing fancy in them. It's literally just a shell. So now I'm going to throw this in the water. All right, if this doesn't float or just actually doesn't lag, I'm gonna be a little upset because the curse of recording. All right, so yeah, it's on the lift. I gotta take it off the lift, and oh, yep, there's the lag. Okay. Sure, this is still probably technically manageable. Even still, it's not really even floating that well. I would need to add in more like bubble block to make this float more. Even though this entire thing is made of wood, how is it not floating? Well, I mean, I know why, because of the sails. All these sails they're made of the carpet, which I don't know. Let's look at the. Yeah, I mean, they don't really weigh that much, but there's a lot of them. It's a lot of carpet. So I'm assuming it's all that weighing it down. However, you guys can see this lag. I'm pressing forward, like we are moving at a snail's pace. Like, obviously, I've seen worse lag in this game because I mean, it's scrap mechanic. What's scrap mechanic without lag? Oof. But if I were to add any amount of like thrust or any even like a single bearing, the game would be unplayable, let alone having 14 cannons which each have a bearing and each have three pistons and a bearing just to angle them and shoot my little explosive. So if you guys do have any like better cannon designs, I wanted the like manual ones. Just I feel like it'd be a lot more. It's just a lot more fun. But if you guys have any ideas for cannons, please let me know. I kind of just made these on a whim. Can't really see them at the moment. But yeah, I'm curious to see what you guys come up with, or if you have any other like Steam Workshop like designs already made. All right, we're gonna get rid of this. And I think that's all I really wanted to show here. We'll actually we'll now hop into a flat world and fly it around and whatnot. All right, we are back in just a generic flat world. I wanted a flat world just because I wanted to make a hover ship, just because I didn't want another flying creation, because I mean it's supposed to be a ship, and I mean before the water update, I mean the best thing you do is make a hover ship. So I'm just kind of taking inspiration from the good old days before challenge mode actually started. I mean survival mode, before the survival mode update. So all right, we're gonna fly it, and this is the most updated version of ship. And the way, if anyone's curious, it's AWD, left, right, forward, using this, like turning using these sensors, kind of your standard that. And then the gyro, like, and the gyro down there, like it tilts and whatnot. But at number 9, you can turn that gyro off, and you can actually manually correct if you so desire. You don't even have to turn the gyro on if you don't want to. I didn't want to give anybody like just because it does get off kilter, and to fix it, you pretty much have to put it back on a lift. So if you don't want to worry about the gyro, because it's not the worst to fly without it. It's actually, well, I shouldn't even say it's not even that bad to fly without it. It just, using the gyro, it just helps that, like, just enough so you don't really have to worry about things too much. But all right, let's fly this thing. Actually we'll talk about, so 1 goes backwards, 2 and 3, 2 tilts it back towards you, 3 tilts it forward, 4 and 5 roll. So I think 4 tilts it left, 5 tilts it right, I think, or I swapped those around. Then 6 and 7, 6 strafes left and 7 strafes right. The only reason I added a strafing option is just because I did fly around with like another ship in the world, and it doesn't turn that great. So we'll just show that off. All right, I'm gonna turn both these on. See, look at that. It corrected itself. It's so, I love this ship. Like, I think that's pretty good. And the sensors on the left, they're more for me. It just shows that it's even or not, like steady. So we'll actually hop off. So what I was looking for, like when I was making this, before I was pretty much forced to make a hover ship, because actually this is one thing I wanted to say. Why is it better for the game that I make a hover ship than just a regular ship? I meant to say this in the last segment, but my God, how does this make any sense to me? Like, it doesn't make any sense that it's easier to make, at least it's less lag to make a freaking hover ship than it is to make a boat that just floats in water. I understand, like, I don't know programming, I'm not that smart, but come on, like, I think that's just absolutely ridiculous. Alright, complaining over. So then after I decided to make this a hover ship, because I still want to do pirate battles. I want to have at least a battle using pirate ships. What I didn't want this thing to bob up and down. So to me, it's actually pretty stable. It gets a little wonky when you start flying it. That's just something that I just didn't care about, to be honest with you. I was like, if anything, it makes it feel like you're on the high seas. But overall, mainly when it's stable like this, that's when I want to be able to fire the cannons. All right, we'll hop back up, and sadly, you have to use the seat trick because I don't really know any other way to get up here. Go back up. Oh, wrong way. I will actually fly this thing. And this the sails do block your view a little bit. So to me, that if anything, that makes your crew that more important because they can tell you what you need to fix. So we're gonna turn right, and if you notice, in the sensors or the logic gates on the right, that's actually the gyro, like what the gyro is doing. It's more it's more for me just to make sure the gyro is working. But it's kind of nice to me it's kind of satisfying to see the lights turn on and off. But yes, turning right, as you guys can see, it's not the fastest of turning or even the fastest creation. It's definitely faster than running. And that's pretty much what I was looking for, because I mean, it's a pirate ship. I mean, there's no motors, at least there shouldn't be any kind of motors on a good old-fashioned pirate ship. But don't mind the thrusters. And I think it works really well, honestly. And I'm very happy with it. With building this, I just overestimated the limits of Scrap Mechanic. And I do still plan on trying to have a pirate battle. The problem is, two of these can actually sit in the world, no problem. I think we're actually tilted a little bit. So I think if we press 3, it'll correct itself. Or yeah, we'll turn 9 off. Then pressing 3. I think it's 3. It's very slow. The actual pitch is kind of slow. But if you notice, if you look very closely, it does work. I think we're good now. I'll turn the gyro back on. Actually, I'm kind of curious. Let's check out the gyro, see if it is off kilter or not. It looks pretty good. I turned it off. Alright, cool. Turn it back on. And, alright, I lost my train of thought here. Oh, alright. Yeah, I wanted to actually talk about the cannons again. Mainly just to show you why I feel like it's going to be hard to do a pirate battle. Or at least an exciting pirate battle. I still feel like we're a little off, a little tilted. But anyway, we'll just oh jeez. Actually, let me fix myself again. Right. We do bob a little bit when we start moving, but mainly if you do if you do start bobbing when you're staying forward or when you're still, my advice is turn off the gyro. Just because the gyro is always constantly correcting itself, and if we actually go down here in the quote-unquote engine room, the gyro is always to correct itself. Some parts are giving it up force, and that's enough force to obviously lift the boat up when you're not moving. But all right, let's go back in here. And I'll show you. Well, hopefully this will work. There is still a chance that the cannons will blow themselves up, which I'm not fully against. Be close. Right there. Can we please work? Yeah, it worked. Yeah, see, it works. I mean, it works. My main problem is that when the ship is moving, I was actually going to grab Jen for this and then just have her drive forward, but I just don't think it's necessary. So when you're moving, you try to place this, you'll probably end up placing like that. That's how it's going to end up. When you're driving, just because it's very jittery. Just because, I mean, to me, I think that's just Scrap Mechanic. And even still, say you're able to do that, and it's not the worst thing ever, right? You can always just do that, then place your explosive, and then just delete delete those blocks, right? The also problem with moving is that when this explosive falls, it becomes crooked. And as I was afraid of earlier of an explosive exploding prematurely, that's exactly what it does when it's crooked. When it's pretty much a little bit out of line, it explodes. And I think that's mainly from my own cannon design. But nonetheless, all right. So that's why. So I feel like the only way to actually like load your cannon is that you need to pretty much stop the ship, load it up, then start moving again. That's where I think it's going to be a little anticlimactic, but we'll see. Like I said, I still do plan on making a video of battling some people. I'm just trying to wrangle some people together because I want more than 2 other people. It's still going to be more exciting. However, speaking of moving, I did think of a few fixes, and hopefully, and this is mainly to show you guys that I didn't just give up. Okay, so like I said, I thought of a few possible fixes for like that whole moving and being able to place. I was like, it occurred to me about, speaking of like the survival update earlier, in creative, like at least without mods and whatnot, because I'm trying to make this completely vanilla. We have suction pumps that can place blocks, right? I was like, okay, that's fantastic. I can at least, if I'm able to place this block, this is before I even realized the explosive would tilt. If anything, I might be able to even actually demonstrate that. But we'll see here in a second. So if you place the block down, actually, all right. Actually, before that, I'm just going to place one regularly. Just watch the cannon itself. Oops, right there. Right, no problem, right? Like as you guys saw, like my third or fourth time showing you, no problem at all. This now, if you press this, there's a button right there to place a block. Like cannon didn't move, right? No problem. But now I think this better repeat itself, or I'm gonna be a little upset. You see that cannon jitter as soon as I place that explosive? Manually, it does not do that. All right, then watch when I get rid of this block. It jittered again. It made that explosive get off, like it made the explosive probably tilt a little bit or something. So if this works how it's going to work, the cannon's going to explode prematurely. Hey, all right, things are working well for me. At least working out for me for today. But yeah, that's kind of a problem. Actually, let's try loading it one more time. I'm just kind of now. This is actually just experimenting at the moment. Still moves. Still does that. Why it explodes when it does that is beyond me. Like it's still, to me, it looks like it looks pretty stable in there. Ugh. Yeah, whatever. It looks pretty stable in there. I don't know why it does that. So that was one option I came up with, and clearly it didn't work. And I also was like, well, if I'm trying to reduce the amount of clicks you have to do, I thought of maybe actually having like the ammo or whatever, like excuse me, already made, and all you had to do is say break it off this wall, and then you would take your weld tool, which I don't have in my inventory. Definitely not as smooth. Take your weld tool, and obviously you'd already have all this like prepared. Then what you would do is you would just weld it, drop it, and fire. But I didn't actually test this flying. I just even from that one test, I'm like, if you are moving forward, there's definitely more of a chance for like things to explode I do like the option of the enemy getting a lucky hit in the back and actually exploding this area. I think that'd be kind of fun, but I just don't think this is just practical, because you're always kind of like fighting against the force of the ship moving. So I just don't know how easy this would be to actually like load. I don't know. Oops. And then, like I said earlier, there's always a chance of this thing exploding, which I kind of like. It's a little random. The old primitive technology and whatnot. Okay. Oh, and lastly, I did think about, what if we like say you're stopped and you like preloaded all of these cannons, right? Actually, I'm gonna do that real quick off camera, just so you guys don't see me doing this 7 times. Well, actually, you can probably already see the problem, as it's, I think I'm on like the fifth cannon right now. They're already preloaded. They dropped in the ground. They dropped in the cannons. If you already notice the lag that's going on, and this is not even like, yeah, we're on the 6th one right now. So imagine this, like somewhat like the other ship doing this as well. Like, imagine how bad the lag would be. Oh god. Like, look at this. We're like jumping on the moon. But yeah, I'm not even gonna do the last one. You guys get the point. So the only thought was, like, for one, I mean, smaller ship. Like, I do want to make an actual like ship, like that floats in the water. I now know, make it smaller. I wanted a big old ship because I want a battle that's going to last like a good amount of time. I didn't want a battle that's going to last like 2 minutes. So, but I digress. And I think with that, I think I'm going to wrap up the episode. Like I said, I'm still going to try and try to do a pirate battle with some friends. Hopefully that happens. If it happens, you'll see it. If not, oh well, at least I got this video. At least I was able to get enough content in out of this, and I'm still proud of it. I think I did a good job. There's definitely some room for improvements. And if you guys have any suggestions or any other ways to improve upon this, please let me know in the comments below. And yeah, thank you all for watching, and I don't know, hopefully I didn't sound like I was complaining too much. No. Alright. Till next time, everyone. Bye.